Well, identity is all about having the freedom to be yourself. And, you know, I'm going to go one step further. In my book, there is a level below the foundation. It's like what I call barriers to self. And sometimes I don't think we do as good enough a job helping folks who have sort of lost themselves along the way, or they've had a trauma, an illness, um, you know, an addiction. Um, the proceeds from my book go to people who are in recovery, and housing is provided to them for a set number of time or number of years or months. When they also receive training, they receive accountability, they have to go to meetings. And so that helps them find themselves again, right? And so if you identity and housing goes hand in hand because if you've ever known anyone who has lost their home due to an illness, a traumatic experience, an addiction, they have lost themselves along the way while losing their house. And sometimes the first step to recovering themselves, whether it be through PTSD or addiction or even just a regular old illness of some sort that has been expensive, and they've lost their home to pay for medical expenses. The start of recovering from that is having a stable home. Because how can you be yourself when you're stuck down in safety and physiological needs? If you don't have a home and you don't feel safe, how can you even be yourself? You're too worried about just surviving. And so a home to me is the foundation of being yourself. Until you have that stability, then you can get up to belonging and love and esteem because those things, the way Maslow's hierarchy works, you really can't focus on the next level until the bottom level is solved. And so if there is someone is renting and they're behind on their rent, how can they go interview for a job? How can someone who's homeless, or not homeless, but just in between or doesn't have a stable address, how do they go interview? What address do they put down? Right.
Hmm.
And so it really keeps them stuck. So to me, housing is a stepping stone to being yourself. And then once you get to a certain point, it becomes an expression of yourself. It becomes a stable environment to be yourself, and it supports you on your journey in your next stage of life.